The Queens of Spice podcast is created for adult audiences only. Our show contains cursing, vulgar content, dark humor, descriptions of sexual acts and desires, and is not suitable for listeners under the age of 18. Some episodes also contain themes which may be triggering for listeners. Please take care of yourself. Could you please turn your TikTok off? Because I don't know if you know about this, but Adam Driver is nasally.
He's not nasally
I
at
don't
all.
like him.
He's totally not nasally.
He's 100% nasally.
He is
Jack, do you have
totally-
an opinion on Adam Driver?
No.
I think
Okay.
we both agreed that he's not nasally, though.
Hi, welcome to Queens of Spice, episode 0. We're going to talk some shit about Queens of Spice in general and why we decided to make it. Fair warning. We're going to curse, we're going to yell and go on, and Ash is going to say some shit.
And Ashton's going to snort.
Well, she told me to turn my TikTok off, so I just turned the volume down. I was
Oh,
still
you're
watching
the
videos
worst.
of Adam Driver.
Turn your TikTok off. Ash,
I did!
We're recording.
Yeah,
Record-
and the recording needs to know that I fucking love Adam Driver.
So Ash has a problem with Adam Driver. Oh, fair warning. Mom, if you're listening, please turn it off, as usual. Thank you for loving and supporting me all these years, but please don't listen to this.
Hi, Rargie's mom, I love you.
So my name's Rachel, also known as Rarg of Rarg Chew, and I'm a Pokemon Master. I'm here with Ash and Jack. Ash, my smut peddler, of course.
Smedler.
My smuddler, as it were.
Sounds like smegma plus something else.
Okay, let's go back to calling me the fairy smut mother. I like that one
Fairies,
better.
Ash, my fairy smother. So Ash is the one that really kind of really made me come to the conclusion that we need to make this podcast.
I think it was originally suggested you do a blog.
Yeah, we were starting to talk a blog because I was like, I need to start a blog. This shit that Ashton makes me read because holy fuck. Some of the stuff that she puts on my to read list is questionable.
Delightful.
Questionable?
Delightful.
Delightfully questionable.
Okay, all on that.
And it's kind of a thing. It's kind of a thing we've quietly done over the years. More so lately during COVID, but like back in the day, when we were like 14 or 15, we were pretty young. We would just like find Ashton's mom's books on the shelf and read them.
To be fair, there was one book.
It was one book in general, which we were going to actually do an episode about. It's called Tidal Wave. It's boring as shit. But we're gonna review it.
At 14, it wasn't boring.
Yeah, at 14 it was interesting because what's a kid's skin dildo when you're 14? Who fucking
Oh
knows?
man, we were giggling like a nobody's business. It's one of those
I
like
still don't know what that is.
yeah, so like kid skin is like, you know,
a type of material.
a type of material.
Not made from children.
It is not in fact made from children.
Why?
Is it made from goats?
Yes.
Probably, yeah. I
Kid
assume
isn't a
goats,
goat.
yeah.
Kid goat.
Right.
Yeah. Is it made from children?
They actually, it's funny because I'm reading that book right now of all the things, and they bring kid up a lot of times like as a material, like it's a very popular material at the time. It was written in '82, so
1982?
yeah,
No,
the
1882.
It was written in the 19th century, 1982, which was before any of us were born, fortunately. And it's definitely.
I'm looking at this piece of paper trying to
Did
figure
you
out what
say
David
that-
Duchovny is written down here. I was like, what does David Duchovny have to do with anything?
So David Duchovny has a lot to do with it because Ash and I used to on Friday evenings back in the day, we would watch like late night showcase, and David Duchovny was on
That
Red
was
Shoe
when we were in
Diaries.
university. We started university. You moved to PEI, and
We watched that way before that. We were in high school. I remember calling you like because I was in my parents' house. Just remember that shitty like weird single bed I had that was like a day bed or something. And I just remember it being so.
we may have
terrible
done it in high
badass.
school. But the one time I remember was sitting in my brother's computer when I was home from university at my mom's house.
In a place.
Either way, I guess the point is that we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, we've been talking shit about naughty stuff. For
Well,
many,
it's not,
many years.
you know what? I come to think of it, it wasn't even Red Shoe and Tidal Wave. Like fan fiction was a really big thing for us when we were in high school, and
Yeah.
and that kind of started in a lot of us, or even just
Fan fiction about what?
About everything. I like
Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff too. We're like Yahoo, like RPG chat pages and shit like that. And
MSN boards.
MSN boards and like IRC.
Fanfiction.net.
There was a lot of that stuff going on, and like it was always kind of a creature hiding behind us when we were younger, because it was like, let's just trot off to a fantasy world for 2 seconds.
It may have been hiding behind you. It was basically had me by the throat.
I always had this facade of status quo growing up because I kind of had to, because I'm a fucking weird kid at heart.
What?
I mean, I've always owned my weirdness. I guess.
thought you did too.
Yeah, like let's be frank.
I have my customer service kind of facade, but yeah, I definitely can't hide the piercings, the tattoos, and the piercings and the green hair.
Rachel likes to pretend that she's got it all put together because she's I have all kinds of notes.
Yeah, did you read my notes? I wrote notes for this episode and everything.
Rachel
see that.
is an artist, by the way, and that's why she doesn't know what the 19th century versus the 20th century is.
I don't think that the fact that Rachel's an artist has anything to do with the fact that she makes notes for things. I think that's just the fact that Rachel's anal retentive about some things.
No.
I process information in a different way than some people might.
Yeah, I just come at it from like, let's see what the fuck happens.
Hey, thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate that.
So, why am I here? Because
Why am I here? So we just kind of
is that an existential? Like, what's going on here?
Other than like we're at my house.
I think. Well, I mean, we've been friends with Jack for a million years.
Because we used to hang out outside the math classroom and pretend that we were
Before then.
So Jack is part of the MBFA in high school, which is the National Bean Flicker Association, which came from our IRC days. Wow, it's dating us bad. We're old. And anyway, so bean flickering, as you know, is a national sport in the UK.
Masturbation.
Masturbation is what we're talking about.
What?
Yes, national. You didn't know what bean flickers were?
No.
You knew what bean flicking was.
Jack, pretending to be innocent, adorable.
Where's the picture for my fucking birthday? What was it? Jesus, I guess.
It came up recently in the.
That would have been 8 years ago because my son would have been just a year.
Alive. Yeah, you had that haircut. Woof. That was rough.
Oh yeah.
The red hair, the like.
Yeah,
bob thing going on.
I fried my hair. I
On.
need to cut it off after having a kid hair.
I thought it looked cute. With the
It
bangs.
It was a choice.
You're a bang.
My God. Hey, we when we do this podcast, we're always going to drink, I assume, unless we have a really good reason not to, and do shots. And Ashton might be stoned. Hard to say.
Rachel, only if Rachel lets me.
I mean, define. I'll go full alpha on you if you like. No problem.
You'll what?
I'll
go
full
alpha on you. Good fucking luck. I make brats look like a fucking joke.
I feel like I've initiated a challenge. What's up?
I'll get scrappy.
You scrap me all you want, baby. So
Please help.
Send help.
So really, what we wanted to kind of talk about in the podcast was just like educating about these tropes that go on, and like really, we're just here to have fun.
We just like talking about books.
We like talking about books. We like talking about
and making Jacqueline read the books.
They just like making me weirdly uncomfortable.
One of my favorite things is to make people uncomfortable. I don't know if you knew this about me.
She's real good at it.
she's making me uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, one of my things is to make people uncomfortable, and I'm also about like putting shit out into the world that maybe people don't want it out there, and I'm like, fuck you, I do what I want.
I'ma do what I want.
And that's basically that.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it tons of times about how reading spicy books or reading books with spice in them is a means of owning one's sexuality, which is like the ultimate feminist flex in some capacity. So, I mean, arguably, we're just two because Jacqueline doesn't read smutty books.
I'm just here for the recipes. We know this.
I would like a good cookie recipe, please, with some
in
paprika.
Fairness, if we, why'd you put paprika in your?
Because it's a spice. I guess cinnamon's a spice too.
Cinnamon is.
Barely. That's a white people spice.
Color. It's more for color.
It really is.
It really is. Like, what else do you need?
I love paprika.
That's because you're white.
Okay, so do you say paprika or paprika?
Paprika.
Sometimes I say paprika because
you like to be spicy.
Do you say Kraken or Kraken?
I say both.
Do you say tomato or tomato? Potato. Do we really need to do this?
I mean, I was just being funny.
Oh,
You took it too far.
I took it too far. Oh, buddy, I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
I don't think I am.
Me neither. I've been having terrible sleep.
No, I mean, let's face it.
So I'm a graphic designer by trade, work in marketing. Ash is touches people who are naked.
They're not always naked.
They're as naked as they're comfortable getting.
So she's a massage therapist, is what we're getting at.
I love that you all are explaining what I do for a living.
And Jack makes cookies. That's all you need to know. And they're fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's right. Jacqueline's cookies. I love having in my mouth.
Especially
that one that what was the one that I ate last time? It was like shaped like a baby outfit or something.
Oh yeah, I had the one.
Onesie.
One was shaped like a cactus. You had the one shaped like a onesie.
It was fucking delicious.
Yeah,
For a baby shower. Like,
Yeah,
not
for sure.
Crazy.
Jacqueline just sits around making fetus
She doesn't
cookies.
sit around making. Oh my god, remember she made fetus cookies?
I did get fetus cookies. That is right. I
That's
forgot
wonderful.
about that.
That's what happens when you get pregnant and you're my friend.
Yeah, and then I got her a moose cookie cutter. She made me moose cookies. Those were lovely.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
That's
mean,
the
when you
thing.
go on vacation, you bring Jack back like weird cookie cutters, and then suddenly there's cookies.
Yeah, like I have Texas.
So Ash, do you want to talk about like how excited a lot of people are for this podcast? Who you know, because you go around telling people all about smutty books, including myself.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely talked about the podcast, but more than the podcast, I tell people way too much.
Ashton's a full disclosure kind of person.
Listen, what you see is what you get, and
Not just about books. About
yeah, in general,
everything.
in general, like I go back to the, reading smut or watching porn or whatever the case may be, is
consuming content.
Consuming content, yeah, in adult content in any capacity is a means of owning one's sexuality. So I like being able to have conversations about content in a way that is healthy and encourages people to find what they like, because we've talked about lots of times how just because somebody likes something or reading something doesn't mean that they're necessarily attracted to having it done or doing it in real life. But through reading content or even viewing content, it allows an outlet for people to experience things that they might be curious about, or just see things in a different way, or things that they might want to try, or start conversations with their partners, or those kinds of things, and allow themselves to, I guess, essentially own their shit, because we kind of live in a society where it gets taken away from us in some respects, and people shame. Like, there's nothing wrong with women wanting to get off, and I mean, that's not even what the reading the books is about, getting off. It's just it takes you out of the.
I think there's definitely a power dynamic there where it's like you're owning yourself and you're taking
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
You're looking after yourself at the end of the day, and like, feminism's a big thing here. Obviously, sometimes you have to put it on a shelf to read a book that's you're super into, but even that is controlling yourself. I think, like, you're deciding.
It's
to do
owning
that
your own
thing.
shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes a girl just want to get fucked by a dragon.
Sometimes a girl just wants to get fucked by 2 penises. Yeah, so like we're not here to shame anyone. We're here.
Don't yuck my yum.
Yeah, don't yuck my yum. I'm into some shit that people would fucking lose their shit about. Also, Mom, if you're listening, turn this off right now.
I love how that's always a disclosure. Please, Mom, don't listen to the fact that I'm a hoe.
I really, my mother has done a lot for me over the years. She's been like a huge rock in my life, but I don't want to be a disappointment to her some days. And this is one of those days.
Would you really be a disappointment, though?
Hard to say.
Listen, I feel like your mother would come about it a lot better than my mother would. 'Cause she already told me that, you read romance novels, not my daughter, romance novels.
We should. I think I said this at the top of the podcast. The first romance novel we ever took read really was off your mother's bookshelf.
Yeah, it was.
So it's her fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ashton's mom, but this is your doing.
You spawned.
It was
this.
you. Yeah.
And somebody has to be responsible for the way that I turned out. I'm not taking responsibility for it, so
Never.
Never.
So Jack, I want to say thank you for joining us to talk shit about some very naughty subjects, and I really appreciate the fact that you come in like a champ every week and just reads a fucking shit. And,
I mean, I feel like she was kind of strong-armed into it, the fact that she's in the group chat with us. And we're just like, let's do this. Though you were the one that was like, I'll be a guest star.
yeah, Jack cited herself on this one where she's like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I was guest starring on this? I'm like, yeah, that'd be hilarious because you don't read any of this garbage.
I don't read any of it, but I'm kind of like excited for you guys to teach me things. Well,
Is there,
From a, like, strictly literature.
yeah, obviously from a literature.
Yeah,
literary standpoint.
Literary.
Right.
Like,
I don't know what all these books are about. I know there's like 50 Shades of Grey that everyone loves but actually hates, and people from like actual BDSM community say it's garbage and blah 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 blah. But otherwise, I don't know anything about any of these books y'all read.
Yeah, I mean, we're also trying to delve into not like, I would say some non-mainstream romance novels. We find some stuff off TikTok, obviously. Ash recommends some stuff to me. And then sometimes I just need to review some Katie Robert because I just need to read that in my life, and I love her so much.
She's our patron
saint.
saint
yeah
of Spice.
Katie Robert is our patron saint of Spice.
That's a really hard word to say.
Patron saint or Spice?
Patron saint of Spice.
I did read a Katie Robert book that did not have spice in it.
What?
I know, I was shocked. It
Girl,
was
shooketh.
was there like murdery?
Ooh, I could get into that one.
You actually might read it. Like there's some spicy stuff in the first two books, but the third one there's not.
As well.
I feel like, is that our goal? Like, try to get me to possibly read one of these books?
I mean, my goal is basically for you to feel as uncomfortable as humanly possible, and for me to have been the harbinger of that, because I like to make people feel uncomfortable.
Right. Which you're very good at that.
I'm just here for the chaos.
And I don't like the words.
Spice,
The sex words.
Yeah.
You don't like the spice.
I don't like
words.
You
the
don't
words.
like the word pussy?
Hidden sins.
Right.
How do you feel about the word cunt?
I'm okay with the word cunt, like as in she's a fucking cunt. But like,
But what if he's fucking her cunt?
that don't like
Okay,
that.
but what if he's putting his dick inside her cunt and then unloading?
Oh.
How do you feel
Blowing
about
his
unloading?
load.
Okay, load.
Unloading.
Not okay. Unloading.
Like you're just unpacking a truck.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And
unloading.
also, I can't even believe I'm about to say this.
Go on.
I'm intrigued.
Oh god, the look on her face. Go on. Please go on.
She's so
I
uncomfortable.
You can do it. Hey,
hate-
good girl. I know you can do it, good girl.
Come on, little bird.
I hate the term cream pie.
I don't
Okay.
think we've ever come across cream pie.
Cream has come up a lot.
Oh yeah, cream comes up a lot, but like the term cream pie, I don't think I've read in a romance novel.
That's
In
because
recent
guys
history.
don't write romance novels.
Oh, actually, we're gonna read a romance novel written by a guy specifically because we want to see if there's.
Are we
any-
reading that though? Which one?
It's called Gabriel's Inferno.
Oh yeah. What about the other one? The one that was like something Harry Potter-esque.
Oh, the Harry Potter ripoff, Harvey Proverb or something. It's not actually written by a man.
Oh.
No, it's written by two women in a trench coat.
Oh,
So they're.
okay.
I want to say they're writing. We'll cover that later.
I was confused as to where that one came from.
I was specifically looking for male authors actually, and I came across it, and it ended up being two women who wrote it under a pen name. That was
I
kind
don't
of a
think
male.
if I were a
name.
person, I would admit if I were a person.
Oh, did they win some award? Was that them?
Is that the one that you suggested?
No,
Doubt it.
I just found it.
But also, that's a good way to, bring it up that we want people to suggest things, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Find me a book that I would like. Like, I like murder and true crime and stuff like
do you
that.
read the Hidden Sin series? The first one is small town cult leader's daughter comes back. Yeah, it's decent. There's some smexy times in it. It's great.
Smexy times.
There's penile inserted into vagina.
what?
There's
Okay, but what words do they use?
I don't know. I read it a while ago. But yeah, that would be up your alley. There's a little bit of smut, a lot of like whodunit stuff.
If so we get most of our recommendations from TikTok, and then it kind of
Ashton.
it's yeah, and Ashton.
I fall down the hole of like Goodreads. I read this, try this. Or my personal favorite when Kindle Unlimited is like, you read this, why don't you try this? Oh, so and so uploaded this. I'm like, sure, that sounds great. Let's try it. Why not?
And yeah, I will say I do when we talk about a book, I try to have a physical copy of the book and have purchased it from the author because that's the right thing to do. Kindle Unlimited,
poor.
yeah, fair. Kindle Unlimited is a wonderful resource for smutty garbage books, and we have a list longer than my freaking arm of stuff to read, which we will get to.
Sorry,
if for some
not
reason,
sorry.
yeah, sorry, not sorry. If at some point you feel the need to recommend a book to us, you can, tweet us. We've got a Twitter set up at Queens of Spice and an Instagram at Queens of Spice. Our Gmail account, queensofspice@gmail.com. If you have something you'd like to really send us kind of quietly and not out in the open, you can certainly do that. Oh goodness. Okay, so we have an award we're going to hand out for a DNF, which is a did not finish. And Ashton has we're trying to challenge her to find a book she's not going to finish
Based on content.
based on content, not based on like if it's poorly written or if it's just like kind of agonizing to get through, like boring or something, but like legitimate content that's in it that she'll start reading and just be like, I cannot possibly finish this.
Like shockingly.
It doesn't need to be like graphic. And I will preface this by saying I don't have any major triggers that I can think of off the top of my head, and I read a lot of fan fiction and different stuff that don't have that are a wide variety of topics, and
She's got a lot of yum.
it's not that I have a yum, it's
She's
just
got a lot more yum than uck.
it takes a lot to ick
She's
me.
a lot of ick.
And sometimes I love something like wildly taboo because it's interesting to see what people do with it. It's not necessarily that it's like, oh, damn, this has got me hot and bothered. It's more so like I just am interested to see where somebody's brain goes with it. So I haven't really found a book yet that I have not finished based on the content.
Right, because like I mean, in fairness, like we've read some shit that is like actually authored poorly, which everyone's got
Authored poorly.
Well, like everyone's got to. You got to start somewhere. You got to write your heart out. Of course, I want you to do that. I want people to release their books into the world and have everyone read that shit. But this is more of a challenge of making Ashton uncomfortable, which I don't think is possible, and that's really what it's about.
I mean, even like
Make Ashton feel like I feel
That's
every
fair.
time we
That's
do
fair.
this.
because like we were talking about degradation kink the other day, and like even degradation kink, which is not generally my thing, I'll still read it. If
Yeah,
it's in a
'cause
book, it's still there.
What was the context of that? It was
Titan.
somebody. Oh, we were reading Titan, which we'll talk about later. That's a daddy gargoyle book. Anyway, and
Rachel
he
liked
just,
it.
I like it a lot, and it was it took you out of it because he was like very tender and kind of nice, and then he was like
Yeah, it was a lot
he
of
called
praise
her like a
kink.
little slut or something.
Yeah,
and-
it's a lot of praise king, and it really took me out of the scene that he called her a little slut, which was, I mean, fair. Yeah, great. You like being called a slut? Fantastic. I'm
Please,
all
daddy,
for it.
tell me how much more of a slut I can be for you. Daddy, daddy.
Please help me.
Daddy.
We have like the with the
Sorry?
different sides of the spectrum here. Rachel,
Daddy?
degradation king, pull my hair, call me a whore, and then Ashton,
I feel called out. Did you just call me out?
Definitely.
bite me and tell me I'm your good girl. Just
Ashton.
if your dick
You're such a good
expands, it's
girl.
even better.
We're into some shit, and we want to find out some shit that Ashton's not into, is what we're looking for, and I just don't know if it's out there. So yeah, send us fire us off a tweet at Queens of Spice, or hit us on Instagram, or send us an email, queensofspice@gmail.com.
And if you're going to, make sure, or try to, not make sure, try to put not tags necessarily, but like triggers if there is
trigger
anything,
warnings, yeah.
if there is any kind of major trigger warnings, just more so that I'm aware of it. I won't pick the book. I'll let Jacqueline and Rachel pick the book. That way there's none of my bias coming through.
Yeah, we'll definitely look at the majority kind of thing. Like if there's a lot of people that suggest one book, we'll read it. Because books take time to read and we have lives, unfortunately.
It's a thing.
So, we have jobs and we're trying to...
I don't have a job.
Jack doesn't have
Jacqueline has a job, doesn't have parents.
I mean, no job, no parents.
I mean, she's got a house. We're at her house.
Yeah, she's married. Just 2 cats even. Like,
Clyde Jeffrey.
Oh, Clyde Jeffrey. Auntie Rarg loves you.
Shout out to Papa's.
Shout out to Papa's.
I mean, he's literally right there.
Spencer
Yeah.
too, but he doesn't like people
Spencer's tricky. I haven't seen him yet.
ever.
Clyde Jeffrey and I are best friends.
You've never even met him.
I did, but he ran out of the room.
Yeah, I don't think I ever met him. That's fine. We'll meet him Sunday.
We'll meet him someday.
But thanks for joining me on this episode 0, talking shit.
Ooh.
What? Oh, you got
When
more.
people email us, they should possibly try to put in the subject line, whether it's like a book for Ashton, just a normal
Here's the thing.
suggestion.
Spoiler alert, I'm going to read every email.
Well,
And
yeah,
if-
of
And if you
course.
call me...
Or a cookbook for Jacqueline.
Yes, if
she
you
is-
have any cookbooks or recipes,
And
spicy cookbooks.
if
Seriously.
you try to degrade me in those emails, I'll read them harder, please. Harder.
ooh,
Thank you.
She'll read them.
She'll call you
harder.
daddy
I'll call
or
you daddy.
mommy. It really just depends on what you're
Depends on
into.
what your preference is. So
Um,
be aware that I will absolutely read them, and I might respond to most of them.
Rachel, you dirty whore.
Listen,
Now you're my favorite.
you're my favorite.
Me?
Yeah.
Because I called you a dirty whore?
Yes, please.
What if I call you a dirty fucking whore?
That's just weird. Don't make it weird.
Why you dirty slutty whore?
Why you make it weird?
Why is that
Slutty
weird?
whore. You're a
See what I
dirty
have to-
slutty whore.
I said fucking. You said slutty.
I know. I was owning what I said.
So
Unapologetically me.
if you email us, I will read and potentially respond to all those personally.
Rachel will because
will.
she's the one that's in control. Not in control.
No, oh no, baby, I'm in control.
No one can control me. Many
I'm
have
the
tried.
one that doesn't have a job, and I have lots of time to respond to emails. So
Hit
me up.
If you email Jacqueline, she'll send you recipes.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a recipe with lots of spices in it, do let us know. Jacqueline will send you one. She will not send her cookie recipe because it's too good to share with anyone on planet Earth.
And that would defeat the purpose of her starting her own business.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that later.
Do you want cookies? Jacqueline makes cookies.
Jack makes cookies. They're so fucking good. You're such a good girl, Jack.
Oh my god.
Okay, little bird.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Queens of Spice podcast. You'll find us on Instagram and Twitter at Queens of Spice. Or if you want to send us an email, you can reach us at queensofspice@gmail.com.